Welcome to Erica's English. My name is Erica and today I am going to help you with Part 3 IELTS Speaking Topic Festivals. The Part 3 requires that you talk at length. You must answer the question, you must explain your answer and also give examples. The whole of Part 3 only goes for about 4 to 5 minutes. It's important to speak in as much detail as possible. Use a wide range of vocabulary, try to be creative and wide-ranging with your grammar, and also speak fluently and, of course, exercise excellent pronunciation. Pronounce everything very clearly. So Part 3 questions are quite general. So they're about not just you, but it can be people in general. Okay, so question 1. How important are festivals in your country? I think festivals are quite important in Australia. On one hand, they are very important for our immigrants to celebrate their cultural traditions from their countries of origin. On another hand, they are like new creations of new festivals, like music festivals, song festivals, food festivals, ways of celebrating all kinds of new culture. How important are festivals in your country? Well, I think festivals are quite important in Australia, although a lot of Australians aren't very traditional. We are quite a new country in terms of colonisation, and so people create their own culture here. So festivals take the form of both like religious and traditional festivals and also brand new festivals, song, music, dance and food festivals. Question 2. Do you think the way we celebrate different festivals is changing? Yes, of course, I do think it is changing, especially in a country like Australia where we are not so tied to tradition as other countries where the history goes back a long way. Yeah, so it's always changing. It's always changing with culture, with immigration, with technology, new ideas, and so on. For example, the way we celebrate Christmas has changed a lot from the celebrating it with the old traditional turkeys and roast ham and Christmas pudding to a more Australian adaptation, like to our climate, with pavlova and Santas on the beach and seafood and salads. Okay. And of course the tradition of Christmas carols has changed in Australia. It used to be more of the English tradition in churches singing Christmas carols, but it's spilled out into our parks and gardens where everybody has candles and sings carols. So you might have noticed that I answered the question, I explained it in detail, and I also gave an example. Number 3, do festivals bring people from different cultures together? Okay, this is quite a complex question, and I would say yes and no. Okay, yes, in that, well, of course, Christmas brings everybody together. It brings families together, work colleagues, friends, and so on. Non-Christians participate in Christmas. I could say no in that some festivals which are very religious may put off people who are not of that religion. But of course it can bring people together in terms of understanding. For example, if I attend like a Japanese Obon festival, I can gain an understanding of the Japanese connection with the spirits of ancestors and so on. Do festivals bring people from different cultures together? Well, it depends on the festival. If the festival is extremely religious or part of an exclusive group, it may exclude others from joining. But if it's like a general festival, like a folk festival or a food festival, music festival or something, it may attract people from many different cultures. Like, for example, the local folk festival can attract people from all over the world, although the folk tradition does tend to originate in Europe, and they have people playing folky instruments, and they have like face painting and knitting and crafts and that kind of thing. How are some festivals more important in our life than others? Well, it depends on the kinds of festivals that you have grown up with and experienced as a child, and also they can be connected with your religion or your community. And so, like for example, for a lot of Australians, Christmas may be more important than, say, Diwali, okay? Although for Indian Australians, Diwali may be more important. But, well, that's because we have experienced Christmas for such a long time. It's been part of our tradition, and like having the tree and the presents and the Christmas food, and also the Judeo-Christian roots of our civilization contribute to the Christmas being significant. How are some festivals more important in our life than others? Well, I think some festivals are more important simply because we have experienced them more, and they're part of our community and our traditions and our family life. And like, for example, if you have been experiencing Christmas with your family since you were a child, and you expected Santa to come at night, and you went to Christmas carols and exchanged presents and made food all of your life, of course Christmas would be more important than, say, another religious festival like Obon, okay? And of course, similarly, Obon would be more significant to Japanese because they have experienced like the Obon dancing, and they have the altars in their homes to welcome the dead spirits back, and that's been a very strong part of their culture, and so that might be more significant to them than Christmas. So it is very much a cultural thing, and it depends what your background is. So notice I answered the question, I gave an explanation, and also gave an example. Do you think that we will have more festivals and occasions to celebrate in the future, and why? Well, I don't think we'll necessarily have more festivals and occasions, although it does depend. I mean, the government is continuously trying to create more and more festivals and celebrations all the time, until almost every week has some special day. But maybe the amount of festivals and celebrations that people actually attend will pretty much stay the same, because people have a limit as to how much participation they are prepared to put into certain things. Like, I think a lot of people really just want to spend maybe one day a month or one day every couple of weeks attending to some celebration or festival. People do get tired of it. Do you think that we will have more festivals and occasions to celebrate in the future? Well, I'm not so sure about that. I think it depends on a lot of things. It depends on economy, it depends on time factors, how much effort one wants to put into things. It depends on government initiatives, depends on like immigration and and what resources are available. I don't necessarily see the total amount of festivals and celebrations changing anytime soon, or even in the next few years, or even in the next few decades. I think people get festival and celebration fatigue after a while, and they really just want to spend a certain limited amount of time attending festivals and celebrations. And then they will only just choose the ones that are significant to them. Do national festivals help us practice patriotism, and why? Well, I guess if it's a national festival, it could make people patriotic. It does depend on the country, though, if it's a patriotic country or not. Some countries are very multicultural, and other countries are quite monocultural. And some festivals are religious, and others are more like community events. Anyway, I think in Australia, our patriotic day would be Australia Day. It's when we celebrate being Australian, and we have our Australian flags, and we go out and have barbecues and swim at the beach and watch like beach championships and Australian games. And we are patriotic on that day. A lot of people get Australian citizenship on that day. So it is important. I think a good example of a national festival that celebrates patriotism are the various Independence Day festivals that occur all over the world. And that is a very patriotic celebration of becoming an independent nation. For example, American Independence Day, Finnish Independence Day, and people are proud to be from that culture, and they may wear their national dress and wave flags around, and they're very proud to be separated from the host country or the country that invaded them, or so on. It's a kind of a victory day for many people. Well, we don't really have independence here in Australia, so we don't have such a national patriotic day. Anyway, so you can see that part 3 questions encourage you to talk at length about a particular topic, and you need to have quite a nuanced, complex opinion about it and have thought about it quite a lot. So it's good to watch videos like mine and consume a lot of content about topics. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other IELTS speaking videos. And please like and subscribe and share.